Hey everyone, so welcome to another episode of Lift and Sketch with Christy and Rachel. Today we're swapping things out just a little bit and doing our sketch first, and that sketch is from Sketches in Time. And in fact, I'm going to only use part of that sketch. The photos I'm using are quite a bit bigger than the ones in the sketch, so rather than trying to cram all of that onto my page, basically what I did was took that photo block section on the left hand side with the two photos and blew that up. So I was just using that center section. I'm going to fix my camera here. And I'm also going to flip it to the opposite side, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yes. Okay, I am working with the Fancy Pants and Take Me Away lines from Paige Evans for Pink Paisley. These were her first two lines. I only have that one piece of paper from Fancy Free left. The rest of my papers are all Take Me Away, but I have a good mix of embellishments from both lines. So I am going to use this chevron wood grain tone piece as my background page, and then I'm going to use two different other pattern papers as my paper layers. This cross stitch style page, and then also this soft grayish lavender piece with mini hearts on it. Now I'm going to go get my triple banner punch from Stampin' Up! And put fishtail banners into this two smaller pieces, and then I'm going to hand cut another one. Now here comes Xanthi, of course. She has to join me as I'm scrapbooking. So once I get that, here's where I'm going to cut the fishtail banner. The triple banner punch can do fishtails for up to 2 inches. This piece right here is slightly larger. You can actually, as long as it's less than 3 inches, you can still get it in there. And then all you have to do is hand trim it from the corner to the center point. And that way you get the same angle. And for some reason that's important to me. So that's why I do it that way. So I'm going to try to work in some of the fancy free stuff simply because I wanted those brighter colors. For some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, the colors on the fancy free are much brighter on this video than they are in real life. So when you're looking at them, in person. Like when I went and watched this video, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so much brighter. Am I crazy? And I actually went back and looked at it and I'm like, oh no, okay, it's just the way it appears on video. I don't know. There's a lot of gray in the Take Me Away tonal quality, so I don't know if that affects how you see it on the screen, but it is not as jarring in real life as it is on the video once we get to the end of the video and you see everything I've added to it. So my idea is, because there's yellow in that embroidery piece and there isn't yellow any embroidery cross stitch piece and there isn't yellow anywhere else, that I would punch out some of these yellow circles to use um, around my layout as embellishment cluster pieces. Sorry, Xanthi just jumped in my lap and I'm trying to get her to move over so she's not in front of the video camera. I apologize. Okay, so I'm going ahead and sorry, my whole point was with these yellow pieces, I'm not actually going to end up using them. I'm going to go in a different direction. But that was my first thought right now. So I'm going ahead and putting down my layers on top of my background piece, and we're going to play a game called What Should Be the Top Layer? I have a hard time deciding whether I want it to be from the top, tucked behind the middle, tucked behind the bottom, as it is right now. And I'm not super loving this. And then I think, well, what if I have that one on top? And I'm like, no. What if I have the centerpiece on top? And I'm like, okay, this I like better. And now I'm trying to figure out how far along do I want that bottom piece, and now I'm gonna have to rip up this piece. The good thing with ATG is, unless you're using really, really thin paper, as long as you don't push down on it, while you're working with it, you do have the ability to lift it up. If you push down on it, you're done. But as long as you don't like burnish it, you're good to go. So add a little bit more glue because it was bothering me, and now I'm just going to trim off the extra hanging off pieces. So there is my paper. If I really thought about it, I think I would want to go back and ink the edges of the papers just to give them a little bit more definition, but it's no big deal. I'm not going to lose sleep over it or anything. Going ahead and getting my photos down, and just like in the sketch, I am overlapping them slightly. These photos are of my dog Sadie and then my stepfather's dogs, the three of them. And this is not a big story. This is not something amazing that happened, but these are the types of stories I really enjoy telling. Just we had all four dogs. This is when I was house sitting. If you're a subscriber of mine, you may have remembered that a couple weeks ago I had a bunch of videos that were filmed not at my house. So my nephew came over. Well, I went and got him. He doesn't drive yet. Uh, with our dog Sadie, and we were hanging out waiting for his mom to get out of work so we could go to dinner. And we were just sitting on the couch, and all the animals were there, and they were looking cute. So we were taking pictures, and we were watching Spider-Man Homecoming. And, this is a moment that won't necessarily happen again. So I wanted to remember it. So these are the types, as I said, these are the types of little stories I like to tell. All right, as I've been nattering on, I've been putting out embellishments from both the Fancy Free and the Take Me Away line. I use that frame. It's not going to stay on top of the photo. It is going to be tucked underneath. I'm also going to pull another frame from the Take Me Away ephemera pack right about now. I've also pulled out a couple of flare. Those are flare I made myself. My friend Deb has a flare making machine, and she brought it to a crop. And as I said, I had a whole bunch of the Fancy Free, and now I'm down to just embellishments in that one piece of paper. But I did at one point have the 6x6 paper pack. I actually worked my way through that entire paper pack. Go me. And one of the things I did was I punched out that 12 by 12 paper, shrunk down, makes perfect 1-inch circles. So I punched those out with a 1-inch circle punch and then made a whole bunch of flare with them. So I have the ephemera pack from Fancy Free, the ephemera pack from Take Me Away. The ephemera pack from Fancy Free had acetate pieces, which is where our happy place came from. And then I also pulled out some chipboard stickers from Freckled Fawn that I bought as part of an Oops kit. I don't remember what they exactly call it, but basically it's like theirs that weren't good enough to sell firsthand, which I've never had an issue with any of them that I've purchased. Anyway, those little chipboard stickers came from there, and I thought they went really well with Take Me Away, so I just popped it in the bag with that. And I'm only going to end up using that rectangular circle, that rectangular chipboard piece that's on the Cherish ephemera piece right now. I'm not going to end up using the circle one that's over by the flare. So now I'm going through the rest of my embellishments, seeing what I think might work, and I'm going to go ahead and start gluing stuff down, and that's where I changed my mind on that circular chipboard piece. I'm going to pull out my liquid glue because if I'm going to be adding chipboard pieces, I definitely need to be reinforcing those with liquid glue. Before I finish that though, I'm going to go ahead and start working on my title. I pull out these gray foam thickers. These are from Maggie Holmes and they're called Stylist. I want to say they came out with Style Board, but that's not 100% there. So I'm going to go ahead and come away from this and you're going to see my title all the way done. I will say the word is Chillaxin. I love using no longer cool slang words because it annoys the teenager. So that's why this is called Chillaxin. Those two L's are not actually L's, they are actually Z's that I trimmed off the top portion and then straightened out because I didn't have any more L's. And I bought 3 packs of Stylist and I don't have any more L's. So obviously I used a lot of L words. There is more to the title, but before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and start adding some embellishments. I grabbed this giant floral swag from the Take Me Away chipboard collection, along with this potted floral piece. And I was super proud of myself because I tend not to use the potted flowers that come in packs. I don't know why, it's just not my jam. So, what am I going to do? But I did use it and I'm happy. I'm going to finish off my title with these Webster's Pages tile stickers. I'm trying to decide what color, and I do finally decide to go with this darker wood grain, and I'm trying to find the center there. And so my entire title is going to be Chillaxin with the Pups, because that's what we were doing. Now, because I have that floral swag in the upper left-hand corner, I want to bring that coral color elsewhere into my layout. I do have it in that Cherish ephemera piece, but other than that, there really isn't any of that coral. There's light pink over in that flare, but I did want that darker color. And that comes into play, apparently not right now, a little bit later. I thought I was going to do that right now, but apparently that's a no. I also want to bring in that navy and the aqua that the flare has, and once again the floral swag has as well. So I'm going to do that with a couple of those punched out pieces. As you saw, I had the full piece of paper. I forgot that I decided I needed two of those because one side has words and the other side has patterns, and I decided I definitely needed both of those. And of course, it's the last thing I have left because I haven't used them. So at first, I think I'm going to use the pink and coral pattern and then the navy words. And then I realized when I flipped that navy over, I actually liked the aqua and navy arrows better. And then I was super excited because the words on the coral piece say awesome sauce. And once again, another no longer cool slang word that, I can use ironically and annoyingly to teenagers. So that is my corner. Once again, that awesome sauce looks a lot brighter on camera than it does in real life. In real life, it's the same color as the flower in the upper left-hand corner. So, and it was, like I said, I had to go back and look at it because I was like, oh my goodness, that is really bright on camera. All right, I'm going to add some Jenny B Blue Mist on my layout, and then I'm going to wow, I just added extra syllables to that word. I'm going to remember that I have not done my journaling. So I just grabbed one of these 3x4 cards. This actually came as part of a Hip Kit grab bag, and I don't think I'm going to use this card, so I'm just going to trim it off and use it as a journaling label type piece. So I'm just writing exactly what I told you the story was, that we were hanging with the pups, watching Spider-Man, waiting to go to dinner. So I'm just going to trim that off once I finish writing and tuck it under by my title. And I actually really like the way how it adds another piece of aqua color to my layout. All right, folks, thank you guys so much for joining me here. Do not forget to head on over to Christy's channel. I will put a link in the description box and check out her take on this sketch. Have a great day, everyone. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Bye.